Guys, I don't even know where to start right now, guys. Oh, Patty Jenkins. Oh, what's going on, guys? It's Adonis. This is my Wonder Woman review. This is gonna be two parts, but one video. So first part is gonna be non-spoiler, second half, spoiler. So let's get into it. Now, if you guys like tech and geek related videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button and have notifications turned on so you don't miss any future content. Now, before we get started, Wonder Woman is an extremely popular, extremely important character in the DC universe, not just the movie universe, but in comics in general. She is like, they call it the Trinity for a reason: Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Like, trust me, like she is up, she's there, she's on that level. So this movie, there was so much writing on it, more than just a cinematic universe. Let's be clear about this right now. As comic book fans, as fans of these characters, she's on the Mount Rushmore of superheroes. And I am so happy. I don't know if I'm more relieved than happy, but this movie was awesome. And I really feel like it was more of a feeling than just the enjoyment of the movie. The movie's really good, don't get me wrong. But the feeling that you get from this movie is just, it's so good. So the story of Diana in this movie is awesome. This is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite origin story we've seen thus far of a character on live screen. And it wasn't necessarily just the action or the acting, it was the story in general that it was being told, and it held so true to the actual character from the comic. Now, if you're not a comic book fan, you'll just enjoy the storytelling, like how she's brought into society, her reactions to things in society. Like, it's just pure comic. Like, I love how they handled it. The action in this movie was done really well. There was a little bit of times where you saw the CG, we're just kind of like, But to be honest, like, every movie you can nitpick, like, parts were just kind of like, nah, I don't know about that one. So I would just kind of throw that out. That's not really a deciding factor if this movie was good or not good. I really enjoyed the pacing of the movie as well. I felt the pacing with the action mixed with the storytelling, mixed with her becoming aware of her abilities. I just thought it was handled really well. I didn't feel like I was falling asleep at times or anything like that. I felt like when the tone did die down, it died down for a reason. It was more focused on the information, and you could tell it was. It wasn't just kind of like going through things just to get through the story. Like, everything was connected really well. And to be completely honest, I've never been a fan of period piece movies. Like, I've never been the guy that's like, oh, I love the war movies. Like, that's just never been my thing. But for this, how they did it, it was just so good. Like, I don't know how to feel about it right now. Like, it's really that good. Like, and the emotional beats in this movie. Motherfucking Steve Trevor, man. Oh my God. Like, Chris Pine, man, salute, sir. Salute. The character just supported Diana so well. Like, didn't detract from her, didn't take the focus off of her. It wasn't a man versus woman thing. It wasn't like, oh, you could do this, well, I could do this. It was just, everything he did was to support her. Just pure gentleman. Like, it was great. So the biggest thing that I was concerned about was obviously Wonder Woman herself. And to be honest, when Gal Gadot got casted, I didn't know how to feel about it, because obviously the first thing you think of is like, she doesn't look like Wonder Woman. Like, because at the time, she just came off of Fast and Furious, and we were just like, she was bones at the time. So you're just like, and you just weren't thinking of like, well, she could put on weight, she can get training, and there's things that she can get physically done to make her look like Wonder Woman. So that shouldn't even be an issue, but that was something that I was stuck on right when she got casted. But then the other side of things was, okay, her acting ability in the movies that I've seen her in just were subpar, to be completely honest. I was just really worried about it. Even though we saw her in Batman v Superman, she didn't really speak much in that movie. Like, in the things that she did deliver was just kind of like, eh. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna hold my reservation until I actually see her in her own movie, when she's the focus and we really get to dive into her acting chops. I'm so glad they picked her. Like, I'm so glad that Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman. Like, so glad. Now, is she an Academy Award winning actress? Not at the moment. Can she get better? Obviously. But just how her charisma is on camera, her gentleness, her subtleties in her face, like her non-verbals are just, they're there. They're so Wonder Woman, it's ridiculous. Like, just the caring side, the loving side of Wonder Woman, like, she has it down. Like, And I was so excited about just those things. But when it really got into the action stuff, is really where I was like, yeah, like she's there, like she's Wonder Woman. And like, I'll get to this in my spoiler section, but third act, like the sequences there, they get serious, and she delivers. Like, she does not disappoint at all. So Gal Gadot, my apologies for doubting your skill. You're doing it. You Wonder Woman. You Wonder Woman. You got me. I'm locked in. And like I said before, Patty Jenkins, thank you so much for delivering a powerful Wonder Woman movie. I'm just so happy right now. Like, so happy. Like, girls need to see this. Guys need to see this, to see this, how powerful this lady is. Like, it's dope. I'm so excited, and hopefully this starts a paradigm shift in the movie industry for more, female-led comic book heroes, or just heroes in general that are led by women. Like, it was great. It was good job. So my final score on Wonder Woman, right now, as I'm filming this, it is actually tied with The Dark Knight on Rotten Tomatoes as the highest rated comic book movie of all time. That's crazy. So let's just keep that there. Now, do I personally feel it's on the caliber of The Dark Knight? To be completely honest, there was parts in this movie that I felt surpassed The Dark Knight in certain aspects, especially the way that I felt about the movie. So obviously movies are subjective. Do I personally think it's on the level all across the board movie-wise? Maybe a little bit less, but that's like arguably the best comic book movie ever made. So it's up there. It's up there for me anyway. Let me know how you guys feel about it. But for me, this movie, 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, like, I'm just so excited about this movie. Like, this movie made me feel so good. Like, not even just on a comic book level, but just on how people were represented in this movie. Like, the diversity of the cast was done so well. It was done with class, and everything about this movie just felt adult, but so much fun at the same time. There was comedy here. There was, sadness at parts, and they delivered. There wasn't a part where you're like, oh, that fell short for me. Like, everything they tried to do, they did well. And that's where my 9 comes from. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are on Wonder Woman in the comment section. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you excited about seeing it if you haven't seen it yet? Let me know. Now we're gonna go into the spoiler part of the review. So guys, the spoilers. Now, Steve Trevor, let's start with him, because the whole scene that we saw in the trailer of the plane crashing, I wasn't expecting events of this kind of quote unquote battle on the beachfront to happen right after that. Like, the pace at which things happened at certain times was dope. Like, that battle scene was awesome. She finally sees somebody that she cares about die right in front of her, and you saw the pain. And that was obviously the catapulting moment for her, but that scene was awesome. Like, you see them just shoot the arrows, swing down, like, just bad assery, like, so sick. I love that scene. But yeah, Steve Trevor is, like I was talking about in the prior segment, just carried this, I don't know, this support through the movie. Like, it was about Diana, and he never made her feel like she didn't know what she was talking about. Even though when she was pressing this whole Ares thing, even though he wasn't believing it, and you could see the gears turning, but he never just said, "Are you crazy? Like, that isn't real." Like, he never just told her like she's nuts. And I just thought that was dope. Like, how he handled perspective. Like, he just observed her like, look, she doesn't even know what this world is like. And I feel like how he approached it was the exact same way. Like, I don't know how she grew up. I don't know what she knows, what she's aware of, maybe the things that she knows is the truth, and I don't even know that. And it was just dope how they handled those things, the differences, the two different worlds coming together. And he supported her through the whole thing. When she wanted to do something courageous, he just like, okay, and just backed her up. When she went on the battlefield, oh my God, that scene was so sick. And he was like, look, let's go, like, and followed right behind her. Like, so many times, like, just the support. And he goes out like a G. Like, I was like, yo, like, that whole segment to me was just like, It was heavy, but it was sick. Like he went out so dope. I was like, man, like respect, bro. Like it was just Steve is tight. Now Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, oh my god. Some of the sick scenes, obviously you had the one scene when they were in the town and she essentially jumps up to the clock tower at that church and just destroys it. That was sick. I was like, okay. And I was waiting the whole movie. I'm glad they waited till the end to see her really channel her power, like really show what Wonder Woman could do, because we saw her in Batman v Superman fighting Doomsday, but for people that don't know how strong Doomsday is, they don't know, they have nothing to gauge it off of. Like nobody that isn't, if they're not in the comics, you don't know the level of Doomsday, right? So I loved how in this movie they showed that as she went through the stages of her progression in the movie. You went from her training to her fighting a god at the end. This is not a monster that is super powerful. This is a god that she's fighting. That's the level that Wonder Woman is at, bros. Like, that's the level. And the part where she sees Steve Trevor die. Fuck. That scene was so dope. So right when she gets pissed off, goes Super Saiyan low-key, and then just goes on this like speed rage attack on the enemy, on the German soldiers, just went through them. Like, I was like, that is crazy. Like, you can just see the speed at which she handled them. Like, they're going super slow and she's like just wrecking shop. Like, that whole sequence was flame emoji, like so dope. And then when she finally got to fight Ares with her, like, I guess power unlocked, so to speak, it was dope, man. Like, that sequence was fire. And Ares was dope. Like, I know some people were saying that they weren't really feeling how he looked. And yeah, I guess he could have looked better. However, like, it was just, I liked the sequence. I thought the sequence was dope. And just the cause and effect stuff, like, when Diana goes in and she was about to kill the general right there in the banquet, and Steve stops her, and then obviously the town gets bombed, everybody dies. She's furious. She's flaming right now. Steve Trevor comes up and was like, look, like, we can't do this, and more people are gonna die. She's like, I could have saved them. It was your fault. And I felt like he could have easily been like, oh man, and just, they could have hold on to this whole grudge thing, but they didn't. She was like, look, Smoke, you got to go that way. That's where he's at. Like, it put him in gear of understanding what was at stake. And they bounced off of each other like that through the entire movie. Like, that was like the best part. Their chemistry was so dope and it was believable. Like, they were both in awe of each other. You know what I mean? Like, because they were from two different worlds, trying to understand each other, and just how they handled it was just done brilliantly. Like, it was just so good to see an actual character like Wonder Woman, one of the Trinity, be taken so seriously, but still have the levity with the comedy at the right times. It was handled perfectly for me in that respect. Like, it was bomb. Now, how they handled equality in the movie was done really brilliant. Like, whether it be the scenes where she's, in the boardroom, or when she walks in with her, I don't know if it's the prime minister or the war general, but they had this conversation and they're like, what's this woman doing in here? Like, and she just was unfazed by it, but she was confused by it at the same time. Like, what's the big deal? Like, I'm a woman. Like, do you know who I am? Like, I liked how they handled it. And even when she was having a discussion with Steve Trevor's friend about, what he likes to do, and he's like, I really want to be an actor, but, I'm not the right color for it. We're all battling with our own challenges, our own wars. Like, and it was that awareness that they didn't just, like I said, beat you over the head with all these messages, but it was just really subtle, but it was there deliberately. And I love that about the film. Now, at first I was a little bummed that there wasn't a post-credit scene, but I'm glad that there wasn't. Like, I'm glad that the connective tissue was at the beginning of the movie. The Wayne Enterprise truck, and that was it. The photo. And then at the end, she emails him back, thank you for the photo. Obviously bringing her back to how she became and how that photo came to be. And, and that's what the whole movie was about. But That was the connective tissue that we needed. I'm glad they didn't focus on that. I'm glad they just focused on making a good movie, and that was successful. So my biggest thing that I'm gonna say to WB, Warner Brothers, if you're listening, you're probably not, but if you're listening, keep that mindset. Just focus on the movie at hand. Yes, you'll probably have ways to connect the movies, but like this right here is a perfect example of how you do a proper superhero movie that doesn't need to be Marvel-esque. It's its own thing. It still feels like a DC movie, but there's levity, there's good moments, there's good acting, there's a good story, and it really brings the character to life. You guys have been doing it out of order, for at least from how we've seen it in the past, where you have individual movies and then a team-up movie. So I would just say keep up the focus when you're really doing these solo movies to really tell a compelling story for these characters. But man, great job. Now I want to know your guys' thoughts on Wonder Woman. Let me know in the comments down below if you liked the movie or if you didn't like the movie. Please guys, try not to leave any spoilers in the comment section. Please, people that are seeing this that haven't seen the movie yet, so just bear in mind that people are out there that haven't seen it yet, so respect them. If you guys like the video, hit that thumbs up button. Show your boy some love. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Have that notification bell turned on. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out over the next few weeks before I go to LA. If you guys want to check out my last video, the link will be right here to the side. All right, guys. Till next time. See you later.